we've been studying in the book of Isaiah for some time now, and I guess it'll be quite a bit longer as we are going through a very large book. But nevertheless, we look at Isaiah and we see all of these prophecies, some very short term, some long term, some mid term, but all fulfilled just exactly as Isaiah prophesied. You kind of wonder what it would take for a person to believe the Bible who continually discourages people to believe the Bible. If they would just look at the number of prophecies and fulfillment and the fact how accurately each of these prophecies was fulfilled. In chapter 19 and 20, we find the same kind of thing again. In chapter 20 and 21, we find it again. We find that the invasions of nations, the carrying away of the people of the nations, the time frame is given. The kings that are in place are established, and that establishes a timeline. And each of these things are fulfilled exactly as God says. I wish we had a timeline on his second coming. I wish we knew exactly when we could expect him, but then it wouldn't take much to be a believer, would it, if we knew exactly when he was coming? As we go through this particular prophecy, we come to a place where you could appreciate the Bible trivia kinds of questions that you could establish from the Old Testament, and establishing whether or not things happened on a short-term or a long-term basis. We know that the short-term basis here in chapter 21 is very, very clear that things would happen within a year. That's a very short term, but it would be clear that things would happen exactly as God had said that they would happen. But we also have the funny things that happen in the scriptures that you could ask in a Bible trivia question and have a good time with it. For example, you could ask easily, without somebody knowing that you're studying from the book of Isaiah, the question about what prophet was barefoot and naked for 3 years? What prophet was barefoot and naked for 3 years? And the answer is in Isaiah chapter 20, verse 3. And following, you'll find that God says, my prophet has been a symbol of what's going to happen to a people who are going to be taken from Cush and from Egypt, and they're going to be discredited. They're going to be humiliated by the fact that they're taken barefoot and naked. As a matter of fact, the scripture is even more descriptive than that. It says with their buttocks being revealed. And so we could easily ask that question of somebody. You might even be able to ask it of a pastor. I don't remember ever reading that passage before as I studied Isaiah, but you might have asked me that, and I'd say I don't know who that prophet was that was barefoot and naked for 3 years as a symbol of what would happen to Egypt and Cush. But that's exactly what does happen. I hope that kind of a silly thing that is a description of what would happen and did happen when they were taken captive and marched out of their land would give you a desire to read the scriptures and to see how many prophecies and fulfillments there are there that brings incredible credibility to the scriptures. That's my thought for the day. God bless you and have a great day.